My fellow warrior dads, this is Frederick Gray, and these are two of my children. Say your names, guys.
Malachi, Amara.
Malachi and Amara. Malachi, tell them how. By the way, this video is not scripted. This is not scripted. This is talk. I want to talk to you about teaching your children the Bible and memorizing Scripture. Go ahead, Malachi. Well, how old are you?
9.
We just turned 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody your birthday.
August 13th.
Great. Amara, how old are you?
6.
Okay. Is there a passage that you want to recite for them today? Why don't you do the 6 things the Lord hates? 7? Malachi, why don't you start that?
Okay.
Do you remember the book, chapter, and verse?
I always forget.
It's Proverbs
6, verse 19.
Yeah, Proverbs 6, verses 16 through 19. Good job.
16. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put them on. I'm going to have them recite it, and then I'm going to talk to you about how to do it and why to do it and the benefits. And I'm going to have them talk to you about it too, real quick. Go ahead.
There are 6 things that the Lord hates, yes, 7 are abomination to him. Haughty eyes, lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that devises wicked plans, and feet that run rapidly to evil, and a false witness that utters lies, and one that's ready to strive from my brothers.
Good job. Why don't you try, Amara?
Okay.
Proverbs what?
Proverbs 6, 16 through 19.
Good job.
The 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 are abomination. Haughty eyes, or lying tongue, and hands that shed in blood, and a heart that devises wicked plans, and feet that run rapidly to evil, and false witness that others lies, and one who spreads strife among brothers.
Good job. Did you guys like memorizing Scripture?
Yeah.
Why'd you?
It was a little hard.
It was a little hard?
Yeah, it's kind of a little hard for me. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And did we try and memorize the whole thing right away?
No. We did little chunks of it.
Little chunks?
A little bit.
Little bit. Okay, so I have 6 children. One's about to turn 15. One's, how old is Asher? Oh, he's a year and 6 months. Or a year and 5 months. So, 17 months. Here's how we did it, in baby chunks. So here's what you have to realize. Most people try and do too much too fast, especially when it comes to memorizing Scripture. So what happens, I try to memorize all this stuff, and they kind of got it the first day because you can memorize things short term, but then they don't really stick with it and they forget it, and it's just discouraging. They feel bad. I want you to avoid that. So just recognize the fact that if you're like most people, you're not memorizing Scripture. So let's just do this. Let's think, I want to give myself a ridiculously long period of time to memorize Scripture. So I think we did this as a family. I believe it probably took us about a month and a half to 2 months. And here's how we started. I started with the book in chapter and verse, Proverbs 6, 16 through 19. I had them say that. Even if some of the little kids who can't read don't understand the nature of the books in the chapter, they are memorizing it, it's sinking in, and it's going to make sense eventually. I'm not very good at this recording. Okay. Oh, I just honked the horn. Okay, so here's what we did. So then we start. There are 6 things that the Lord hates. And we start with that. And every day we'd say it a couple times. And by the oldest to youngest. Now, by the time my youngest child, who at the time could speak, who was 5, he's my 5th child. He was 3 at the time. He would say it, and he actually was the best memorizer out of everybody. He got it once and never forgot it. Do it when they're young, guys. Do it when they're young. And then here's what little baby chunks every day. If you only have 1 child, then go back and forth a couple times until they got it. And then you do it again. Don't add something new every day. Use 1 or 2 or 3 days to stabilize what you've already memorized until it becomes ridiculously rote for them, and they'll recite it and they'll remember it. Then you add a few more words. Does that ring a bell? Does that remind you of how we did it, guys? Is that how we did it? We had a little bit. Do you guys, if anybody ever asks you, I wonder what Proverbs 6, 16 to 19 says, you guys will say it real easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you know it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like if we ever try to memorize something else, like if I said tomorrow, let's memorize the book of Romans, do you think we can do it piece by piece?
Yeah.
It'll
take a really long time.
What'd you say? It would take a really long time?
Well, it'll take probably a few days to get it all right.
It might take a few years. You never know. But memorizing Scripture, how does it feel when you memorize Scripture at your age? Do you feel good about it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you feel bad about memorizing scripture at all?
No.
Do you feel closer to God?
Yeah.
Because you know what he hates, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, memorize lists. The Sermon on the Mount, 2 Peter 1, like you know, the first few verses of there up to like verse 11 or so, 12. The fruit of the Spirit. 1 Corinthians 7 or 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 through the first like 8 the first part of 8 verse 8 about love. You guys just memorize these passages and teach them. You'd be surprised how these chunks of scripture that are meaningful can be memorized by these kids really fast. I know this video is going long. Love you guys.
Bye.
Keep fighting the good fight. Oh yeah, say bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right.